Your triggers are not obstacles, but divine invitations to transform. Each emotional storm guides you to where healing awaits. When something disturbs your peace, remember, you are not being challenged. You are being chosen for growth. In the landscape of human consciousness and spiritual evolution, there exists a profound and often misunderstood phenomenon: the sacred relationship between our emotional triggers and our deepest transformation. What appears on the surface as disruption is in truth the universe's most sophisticated mechanism for spiritual alchemy. Every single moment that causes your heart to race, your mind to spiral, or your peace to shatter is not a random occurrence, but rather a precisely orchestrated opportunity for profound metamorphosis. When we find ourselves triggered, we stand at the intersection of our past wounds and future healing. These moments of intense emotional reaction are like spiritual spotlights, illuminating with piercing clarity the exact locations within our psyche where transformation is not just possible but actively calling to us. They are the divine's way of loving, directing our attention to the parts of ourselves that cry out for understanding, integration, and transcendence. Consider each trigger as a master teacher, arriving in perfect timing, dressed in the garments of discomfort, but carrying the textbooks of wisdom. These triggers are not punishments or obstacles. They are sacred invitations to dive deeper into the ocean of self-discovery. Every time something or someone pushes your buttons, imagine it as the universe gently tapping on the door of your consciousness, saying, "Here, beloved, this is where your next level of growth awaits. This is where your soul is ready to expand." The beauty of triggers lies in their precision. They are like spiritual acupuncture needles, targeting exactly those energy points within our emotional body that need attention and healing. When we feel triggered, we are not just experiencing a surface level reaction. We are being shown a portal to our own transformation. These moments of disturbance are actually moments of divine intervention, where the universe conspires to help us shed old layers of conditioning, outdated beliefs, and protective mechanisms that no longer serve our highest good. Think of your triggers as sophisticated GPS coordinates on your spiritual journey. Each one points precisely to where your soul's work lies, highlighting with remarkable accuracy the exact locations where love needs to replace fear, where understanding needs to supersede judgment, and where compassion needs to dissolve resistance. They are the breadcrumbs leading you home to your most authentic, evolved self. Triggers, when pulled with conscious awareness, unravel the old patterns that have kept us bound to limiting stories and beliefs. They are the keys that unlock doors to rooms within ourselves we never knew existed. Rooms filled with potential, wisdom, and unprecedented growth opportunities. Every trigger carries within it the seed of a profound teaching waiting to bloom in the garden of your consciousness. These moments of triggering are actually sacred crossroads where your human experience meets your divine potential. They are the places where your earthly journey intersects with your soul's highest calling. When something triggers you, it's as if the universe is holding up a mirror showing you exactly where you have the opportunity to choose a higher perspective, to embrace a more expansive understanding, to embody a greater truth. The wisdom lies in recognizing that these triggers are not random acts of emotional chaos, but rather precisely calibrated instruments of divine guidance. They are the language through which your higher self communicates with your earthly consciousness, pointing the way toward your next level of spiritual evolution. Each trigger is a loving invitation to transform fear into courage, pain into power, and resistance into flow. When we embrace our triggers as transformational tools, we begin to see them not as sources of disturbance, but as sacred gates to greater awareness. They become our most trusted guides on the path to spiritual evolution, showing us exactly where we need to shine the light of consciousness, where we need to apply the balm of compassion, and where we need to exercise the muscle of understanding. Remember that everything that triggers you is actually life force energy seeking to move through you, to transform you, to elevate you. It's the universe's way of keeping you in continuous evolution, ensuring that you don't become stagnant in your growth or in your limitations. Each trigger is a divine alarm clock, waking you up to new possibilities, new perspectives, and new potentials within yourself. In this light, we can begin to welcome our triggers as beloved teachers, knowing that within each challenging moment lies the seed of our next breakthrough. They are not here to break us down, but to break us open, to crack the shell of our limited self-concept and allow the light of our true nature to shine through. Every trigger is an opportunity to practice presence, to choose love over fear, to select understanding over judgment, and to embrace growth over comfort. As we journey through life, may we remember that our triggers are not our enemies, but our greatest allies on the path. They are the sacred stepping stones across the river of transformation, each one perfectly placed to lead us to the shores of higher consciousness. When we learn to approach our triggers with curiosity rather than resistance, with openness rather than defensiveness, we unlock their transformative potential and allow them to serve their highest purpose in our evolution. In the deepest sense, our triggers are love's way of showing us where we still hold ourselves separate from the truth of our divine nature. They illuminate the spaces where we have created barriers against our own wholeness, where we have constructed walls instead of bridges, where we have chosen fear instead of love. Each trigger is a loving whisper from the universe saying, "Here, beloved, this is where you can choose again. This is where you can see differently. This is where you can love more deeply." The journey of transformation through our triggers is perhaps one of the most sacred paths we can walk. It requires immense courage to face what disturbs us, wisdom to see beyond the surface reaction, and compassion to hold ourselves gently as we navigate these waters of huge changes. Yet, it is precisely this journey that leads to our most profound healing and most magnificent becoming. As we walk this path of conscious transformation, we begin to understand that everything that triggers us is a divine appointment with our own evolution. These moments of disturbance are actually moments of divine orchestration, carefully arranged to guide us towards our highest potential. They are the chisel in the hands of the divine sculptor, carefully crafting us into the masterpiece we were always meant to be. In the end, our triggers are not merely emotional reactions or responses. They are sacred gateways to our own divinity. They are the breadcrumbs leading us back to our true nature, the compass pointing us toward our highest truth, and the bridge connecting our human experience to our divine essence. Every trigger, every reaction, every moment of discomfort is actually a love letter from the universe, inviting us to expand beyond our current limitations and step into the fullness of who we truly are. So let us embrace these sacred messengers with gratitude, knowing that within each trigger lies the seed of our next awakening. Let us welcome them as the master teachers they are, understanding that their presence in our lives is not a punishment but a blessing, not a hindrance but a help, not an obstacle but an opportunity. For in truth, everything that triggers us is spirit seeking to transform us, love seeking to expand us, and divinity seeking to awaken us to the boundless beauty of who we truly are.